All right, today I want to talk about what happens during week 1 of my one-on-one coaching program. And I want to talk about this because I think that it's a question that I used to have whenever I would sign up for any program, like, well, what happens after I pay? Like, what am I going to have to do to prepare myself, right? And I think that a lot of us are used to, if we're coming from a hardcore dieting background, which 99.9% of my clients are, if we're coming from that kind of background, we're used to doing things like cleaning out our cabinets, getting rid of all the crackers, the chips, starting over, clean slate, filling our cabinets and our fridge and our freezer with only clean foods, and then meal planning, meal prepping, doing all of that stuff in anticipation of day 1, week 1, right? You don't have to do any of that. So here's how the first week of your program will go down. And this is the only time that your program will look like anybody else's because everybody starts off the exact same way. So we have our discovery call, which is the call that we hop on after you fill out your application for the program. And on that call, we talk about your goals, your struggles, what's going really well, and then how we can work together to get you to your goals in the fastest and most sustainable way possible. Once that is said and done, and you agree that you're into the program, I agree that I think you're a good fit for the program, from there, I'll send you a contract, which just outlines everything in the program, exactly what to expect, where to go to book your weekly calls, where to go to book your kickoff call, basically what you can expect from me, what I expect from you. You sign that, you give it back to me. From there, we take care of the payment, whether you pay the full amount up front via PayPal or Venmo or Zelle or whatever, or you do the payment plan. That's all in the contract too. We process your first payment. And then from there, what you're gonna do is you're gonna track your food for 5 days. Now, I know this might seem a little bit backwards from what I've been talking about in terms of not having to track your food to get your results. That is still true. But why I have my people track their food for the first 5 days, and I love for them to get a weekend in too, because you know what happens on the weekends. But I want to see what their preferences are. I want to see what their eating habits look like right now. I want to see any patterns in maybe if they have a lighter breakfast, those are the days that they're snacking a lot at night. Or maybe the days where they have a big dinner, the next day they're not really that hungry until mid-morning. So I'm looking for things like that. After I get the 5-day journal, that's when your first call will be booked. And on that call, we go over the food journal, we go over your exercise habits, we go over basically your dieting history, any mindset hangups that you have, and that's when we start building out your plan. So when it comes to your nutrition, what we do, and this is where your plan is gonna start deviating from everybody else's, because nobody's first step looks the same. But we're gonna look at your food journal and we're gonna come up with one thing that you're gonna focus on to change. And whenever I talk about one thing, I know that people think, well, there are so many things that I know I should change. I'm snacking too much. I'm ordering too much takeout. I'm drinking too much. I eat too much sugar. I want to take care of all of that now. But here's what I've found. If we change one thing, 9 times out of 10, it takes care of the rest, right? And by only changing one thing at a time, it helps you get really, really, really consistent with that one thing, which helps you feel motivated and excited, and it helps you rack up wins really fast. So that's what we do on the nutrition front. We change one thing after your 5-day journal. And it's not me telling you what to change. So I'm not gonna look and say, okay, you need to eat this for breakfast instead of what you're having. We work together to figure out what that first change is gonna be. And it's always something that's gonna pack a big punch because I want you getting wins right off the bat. I want you after a week or two to be telling me, I feel more energized. I feel like this is so much easier than I thought it was gonna be. I'm noticing changes and I'm changing things, but nobody else even knows that I'm doing it because it's so subtle, but it's working. I love that. And so The changes that we make, yes, they're small, but they pack a punch. So that's the nutrition piece. From the fitness piece, a lot of my people already have a routine that they love. But if they don't, we figure something out for them. So like one of my clients, she really wanted to try to work out on her own. It wasn't happening. So we decided it was time for her to hire a trainer. So now she goes to her trainer twice a week and works out on her own once per week. Another one of my clients, she just felt like she was picking and choosing random workouts. So we gave her 3 workouts to do each week, 3 or 4 workouts to do each week to cycle through for the first month. And now she's on to her second set of workouts. Some of my other clients just need to know, like, this is how many strength training workouts you need to be doing. You can do this many cardio, Pilates, whatever. They just need those questions answered so that they can get the best results for them. And then the mindset stuff comes in. And this is really the most powerful part of the program. Because there are a lot of programs out there now, Noom being one of them, that says it's not a diet, it's a lifestyle change, and you tap into mindset. And while all of that might be true, what's also true is you're still tracking all of your food. You're still trying to eat within a certain calorie bracket. You're still doing all of those diet things that keep you stuck in the cycle. What I help you do is really connect your mind and your body together so that they can work together instead of against each other. And so here's what I mean by that. You'll start to recognize what physical hunger feels like in your body, and you'll start to notice what stress hunger and emotional hunger feels like in your body. 2 very different sensations. But so often, I mean, we've never been taught this stuff, right? I was never, until 7 or 8 years ago, I never even knew that there were different types of hunger, right? So we learn to distinguish. You'll learn to distinguish between those 2 things. So even when emotions are running high, stress is running high, and you just want to eat all the chocolate, cool. Like, you know that's your option, and you also know why you're doing it. And so then you have a choice. You eat all the chocolate and own it, or you eat a little bit of the chocolate and then you come to me and I help you work through the hard feelings that you're struggling with. And that's what sets my one-on-one coaching program apart from all the others, is that we really, really dig into the mindset stuff, because that's the only way this works. It will not work any other way. If it was as simple as changing the type or amount of food on your plate and the type and amount of exercise you're doing, you would have achieved your goals by now. It's not that simple. It's not that easy. That's why it doesn't work. What we have to do is figure out what those thoughts are in your head that are driving you crazy, that are keeping you stuck in this cycle, that are keeping you obsessed with food, obsessed with calories, obsessed with tracking, and we need to learn to let them go. My clients have such a fast turnaround with this stuff. I am like blown away by them and how dedicated they are to this. Because if you've been there, if you're currently living in this place of obsessing about calories and tracking your food and all of that, you know how stressful it is, right? And you'd probably do whatever it takes to let it go, because it's just so draining. And so my clients show up ready to work, ready to tackle this like food obsession beast that they've been living with for decades. And they're very dedicated, and their results speak for themselves. This is why their transformations happen so quickly, because they're dedicated to the process. And how I support you with that is on our weekly coaching calls. We have 45-minute one-on-one coaching calls every single week for 12 weeks. In between those coaching calls, I give you tech support. You get my personal cell phone number, and you text me anytime you're having a hang up, anytime you're like, I hit my 4 drinks for the week, but I really want to go out and have a couple drinks with my friends. How do I balance this out? I help you do that. Or anytime you're like, I had a really stressful conversation with my partner and all I want to do is eat all the ice cream, I'll help talk you through that. Or anytime you're having a hard time at work and you just want to come home and open up a bottle of wine, you can do that and we'll talk through it, right? So you're never alone in this stuff. You're never going to have questions that go unanswered. You're never going to feel unsupported. I'm here for you every day for 12 weeks in this program. So if you're ready for that kind of support, and if you're ready to make a radical mindset transformation, and you're ready to see your body change, and not just change, but sustain those changes as well, no more of this losing and regaining the same 15 pounds over and over again. It doesn't have to be that hard. So if you're ready, head to the link in my bio and apply for a spot in my one-on-one coaching program. I have a few spots left for March, so get your name on the application. And just like I said in the beginning of this video, after you apply, we'll get on the phone, we'll make sure it's a good fit, and then we'll take it from there. You'll fill out your contract, ask me any questions you have, we'll process the payment, you'll get started on your food journal, and then we'll start creating your plan. It's a very, very quick process because I want you to rack up those wins as soon as possible, as fast as possible. Okay? If you have any questions about this, shoot me a DM, let me know, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.